Call the meeting to order, please. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to call the meeting to order for the regular Township Board meeting for Cottrellville at 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, June 8th, 2016. Angie, would you please give me roll call attendance?
Matt?
Here.
Ken?
Here.
Mary Agnes?
Here.
Patty? Here. Angie? Here.
Okay, agenda approval, I'd like to remove consent agenda item number 2A. Trial balance period, May 31st. And in accounts, let's see, copy of the board minutes. There's a revised copy, I think we have that for May 11th. There's also a report listing the additions to the opens that gives us a new total of $11,621.53. The paids have a new total of $43,256.55. Angie took a few days off vacation, and when she come back, there was some bills that she wanted to enter to make sure they got on this invoice or this pay period for this meeting, and that's where there was a little discrepancy. There's also CHOP's monthly payroll for May and ZBA payrolls for meetings 1/5/15, 6/16/15, and 11/19/15, which were missed last year by the previous clerk that I guess they forgot to pay them.
So which ones were paid?
Which one were not paid?
No, which ones did you say were not paid?
All of the ZBA payroll meetings.
Okay.
Zoning Board of
okay.
Appeals.
Right here. Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
Patty, did you give me
I
some
did
packet
read that.
yesterday? Oh,
Showed
okay.
up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, also, item number D, introduction of John Gaddafi. Wasn't able to make this evening's meeting. He's gonna try next month. I think that's about it. Anybody else got anything they wanna add or subtract? All right, then I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda as corrected.
Question on a minute?
Sure.
We don't have a minute for our study, our workshop minutes for that would be here now.
I don't think so, because,
They're done.
are they?
Yeah, I didn't know I had to.
I'm just asking if they were.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we
I
decided
didn't know if they
we
were
didn't.
not, that's why I'm
Oh,
asking.
That's all right,
Okay.
we might continue to do that if you
Okay.
wanna, yeah, let's figure on doing those from now on.
Okay, just a question, thank you.
Yeah, because a lot of the support is gonna be in that meeting rather than this one, and if the audience wants to read about it, they'll be able to get it out of the workshop that we discussed.
Perfect, thank you.
Can I ask you something in regards
Sure.
to unfinished business? You changed a policy that the old board put into effect without, it's under unfinished business 1, and it's your regular board meeting policy,
On the minutes.
agenda policy.
On the minutes, Mary Agnes. He's referring to the minutes from last month. What page is that?
It's on the
Number
second
2?
page.
Oh, you're looking at the old minutes, not the updated minutes?
These are the ones that you just gave me because they weren't punched.
Okay, so page 2. Let's see it.
Well, I thought we had
Oh, right there,
discussed,
yes.
yeah, we had
Okay.
discussed this, that, because I was asked when I was planning on having the agenda ready for everyone, and we decided it would be the Thursday before the meeting by 5 o'clock.
That was the policy that we always had in effect.
Oh, I thought it was something different, because they kind of asked, you guys asked me what I was doing. I don't know what the old one was, but,
Yeah, Tuesday was the last day that we could add or delete anything that
Oh.
we wanted to put on there.
I think
And
Monday.
Thursday was the day that,
Okay, that was one of the changes then, because I asked
It
it
was
to
to
be
be done.
Monday at noon for the week before a meeting.
but I don't think we ever voted on changing that, did we?
No, we didn't, but those are the things that that we'll have to discuss at one of these workshops. We gotta get this nailed down. We'll get some people to help work with that. else?
I'm just going over the new minutes now.
You got one more?
One more, because I was asked by a resident. Page 7. State ORV ordinance will be approved at board meeting June. Obviously, we don't have that on the agenda, so it will be added maybe next month, just so we don't forget it. Unless we're ready, but
What is he wanting?
The ORV ordinance? I thought we had that in there.
no, it's not on the agenda.
Okay. Yes, let's put it on for the
We'll get it,
following.
just so that we
Did you make a
don't
note
forget.
that that's gonna be added?
Please, thank you.
Thank you.
Add it on to tonight's or on to the
No,
next one?
to next one.
Okay.
Okay, to July's meeting. I missed that, I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, anybody else got anything else they want to question? We have a motion to accept the agenda as corrected.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call, please.
Ken,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Patty,
Yes.
Angie, yes. Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion carried. All right, let's go down to open session. Is there anyone that wants to address the board regarding the items on the agenda for this evening's meeting, please? If so, please go up to the podium and state your name and give us your thoughts. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything from anyone, so let's go on with unfinished business. The results of the workshop meeting from Wednesday, May 18th. Request for approval to sign the contract between United Resources and Cottrellville Township to complete the 2016 SAW project, both sewer cleaning and video inspections. The proposal for $147,144 rather than the Michigan pipe inspection. Sir Med, what have you got on your mind for this?
Thank you, Ms. Simmons. I believe the board have a letter, my letter of recommendation dated May 18th. Again, this is the recommendation of the low bid from last year to perform the sewer system televising and cleaning. United Resources is the recommended low bidder for the amount of $147,144. And after the workshop, the supervisor asked for the bid tab, which we supplied, comparing the three different contractors that bid the job. I believe you have that, again, dated June 19th. And also, I have sent Michigan Pipe proposal for the complete bid, which increases their bid to $163,873.76. So they are not the low bidder. We previously asked them to bid only the televising portion, and they came at $113. And the difference between them and United Resources, $147 versus $113, with the understanding that United Resources would delete about almost 30 grand just between crew days and the audio video survey. Will be around 120, so substantial saving. And they did honor their prices from last year, and they're just anxious to start the job.
When will we get a contract to sign?
If the board vote to accept their bid, we will prepare the contract documents for them to sign, ask them to supply all the bonds and insurance, and we'll bring them back to you, to your office for signatures.
Okay, are they signing the agreement that you put together, or are they giving you a separate? Was there a bid form that
Yes.
they felt they completed?
Yes,
Okay,
it's our contract book.
okay,
Yep.
all right. And that's going to be coming when?
We'll prepare them within a couple of days, and it depends how long they'll take to get their bonds and insurance. So I'm assuming maybe next week we'll get it signed. and they have 10 days to mobilize. Once I get a signed contract, I'll send them an award.
Letter of award, okay.
Letter of award, and they have 10 days to mobilize. And per the schedule, this works really well with them because they just lost a couple of jobs, so they have an opening.
Great.
And they can finish within the allocated, I believe it's 90 days for substantial completion. And they said, that's plenty.
Okay.
Wasn't there something in our discussion last time that was gonna deviate a little bit of what the SAW grant said? And weren't you gonna get some information from them or from the state so that we weren't in violation of anything of our SAW grant?
Yes.
Did we get that, or?
No, it's a moot point right now because United Resources bid includes the cleaning and telemetry.
Okay, so then we're back to what the original SAW grant was requested as?
Correct.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
why
was
I
just
thought
checking. I
that the
remember there was
agreement was
something that I thought you were gonna bring to us
Yeah.
that you were gonna get from the state or something as a permission slip or something like.
Yeah, originally we were thinking with Michigan Pipe, but deleting the cleaning portion of it. And we were wondering if that will violate the state grant.
Okay,
But we're not doing that right now.
No, we're going
Thank
along
you.
with. All right, well, as soon as you can get that paperwork to us, then we'll have to have another special meeting than just to sign that agreement then, unless you want to do it.
What's our,
We just need our approval to go forward again.
Yeah, well,
Actually-
so I want to make sure we got, everybody's on board to go with United.
Yeah, the motion could be to authorize the supervisor to execute the agreement with this amount. So you don't need another meeting.
140.
147, 144.
144.
Sir Med, to clarify, so then we're back to where you were, and I think you just said it, but just to clarify, we're back on line with what we originally proposed to be done.
Correct.
The imaging of it, the cleaning, everything, we're within the budget confines, and obviously we're still in track with our budget for this SAW grant.
Yes, we are. We're just losing time.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's why we want to expedite it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of work still,
Right.
but we need to get this going.
Yeah,
If that's the case, Mayor, I guess I'll make a motion that we accept Huron's bid to us using United Resources. So
Okay.
we can
In the
proceed on.
amount?
Yes.
Can I revise that, Mr. Chartier?
Sure.
It would be a motion to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract with United Resources based on their bid.
Okay. I thought we first had to approve it, and then we can have her be the one to sign it.
Yeah.
We just approve it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
This way you don't have to have a special meeting. I can get the contract documents and the agreement to
and get them signed.
the supervisor, and she can sign it without having to have a special meeting.
All right, do we have a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay, Matt will second that. All right, all in favor signify in a roll call vote, please, when you get a second.
Roll call. Okay, Mary
Please.
Agnes,
Yes.
Patty,
yes,
Ken,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Angie, yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As I mentioned, I would like to leave. I have a prior commitment. If you have any questions for me at this point,
No, I think we're right on the target.
thank
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
All right, the next thing that we discussed at the workshop was the hiring of utility billing, water and sewer billing clerk. And we had a discussion with a couple of different companies, one that met with different board members yesterday. Does anybody want to kind of allude to what happened? Things that were discussed?
Sure. I didn't bring his card with me, so I don't have his name, if you've got it.
Well, in reference to, we had mentioned last, at the workshop, as Mary Agnes stated, that we were just looking at multiple options, from staying in-house, outside, and one of the thought process was to look to an outside billing company. Chris Johnson, the Senior Vice President, Operations Services, for DNB billing, met with two of us yesterday, and is interested in proposing a bid to Cottrellville Township. So what the treasurer did was get some data for him. They reviewed the data, and will be getting back to us with a proposal coming back to the supervisor. But you know, obviously, they do multiple cities in this state, and I know outside of the state, actually. I think they have 5 offices, 5 different branches throughout the state of Michigan. Very large company, and his main concern was trying to help us, the township, and getting something, doing the best possible job he can for us, is in any way, shape, or form, from doing the whole thing to whatever you want. So we asked him to sort of break it down that way, and we'll see what he said within a few days he'd be able to get something to us. He's going to forward it to our supervisor, and then we told him that we were in some sort of a timetable because of the request from our DPW at our last meeting, 30 to 60 days. He said, not a problem. He said, hopefully within the week I'll have something, and then maybe at the next study meeting, we can go further on that.
Okay, very good.
He went
Anybody
in,
you wanna
yeah.
add?
Well, he went on and explained that they just had the same situation with Hazel Park.
Highland
They-
Park.
Highland Park, yeah, you're right. And that they had over 5,000 meters, only 750 bills going out. So they had to completely go back and go through every piece of property, every meter number, everything, just because of one reason or another. And he says this is a lot smaller of a project than what that one is, but the same type of thing, just maybe wrong information entered at one time or another, or was never set up properly with the proper landowners and things like that. So he says you just basically start from square one, reorganize it, and then put it all together that way. He had a very impressive presentation in regards to doing a lot larger areas than what ours is.
All right, well, we'll see what happens, and perhaps we'll have this on the agenda then for either another workshop to finalize it, and then bring it back to the regular board meeting and get a decision.
Okay.
All right, next one under unfinished business is FC, Parks and Rec Committee discussion, volunteers to meet for the first meeting yesterday. And then we needed an update on the flower sale that was done by Sue Biscorner and Lori Russellberg. Let's start with the flower sale and how much you made and what you did. Sue?
Okay, well, I want to thank Tom and Sue Simons from Strawberry Greenhouse because he delivered 50 hanging baskets that morning, and it was so cold. It was a terrible morning. But the nice thing about getting from them is what we didn't sell, we could return. Because a lot of times if you just wholesale like that, you're stuck. This way we were able to return. So we sold 22 baskets, and we were able to donate $121 to Parks and Rec. And there were two very nice people that brought us hot coffee. Soup would have been nice too. Warm blankets, but it was a horrible day. So if that's done next year, you gotta plan like way ahead. You gotta do flyers, announce it, put it in the paper, because, we didn't get that many, customers.
I think the majority was your board.
People that are in here were our biggest supporters. There were only a couple people that stopped and bought that I didn't know, so. But all in all, we did raise some money.
That's
So
good.
that was nice.
All right.
Good job.
Very good job, thank you. We didn't have anybody show up for the meeting last night. I had all the things prepared for the board member, the new committee members that were gonna join us. I had 2 or 3 people that I had talked to, and they said that they weren't able to make last night's meeting, so we'll try it again. But I do have all that information. I just give it to you under a memorandum on G3, so it'll be down further in the discussion here.
If we are out and still waiting on a Parks and Rec meeting or organization or whoever we're gonna have, is the park currently open for usage?
Yes, sir. And all this stuff is all organized where I got all the pricing for you. I've got somebody lined up to put the materials together, put the swings together. I just need a couple of options I need to ask you about. The mulch is your choice. I got 2 different places, but one is a little bit cheaper. Saves us $523 if we get 3 semi-loads. I got volunteers to place the mulch down, and we'll have the park in good shape in 30 days if you release the money.
With all that activity and the activity of the kids that are there, is it possible that we could maybe skip ahead 1 or 2 steps and get the porta-johns put out there?
Porta-john is there. There will be. It's on the agenda for the
coming
things. It'll be
all right.
arrived on Friday.
All right,
Yeah. The other one, it came from the kids from Cardinal Mooney, had already brought their own porta potty when they
Oh,
asked to
alright.
clean up the ball field so they could use it, so that's how that happened.
Alright.
I only ordered one and it's handicapped, and it's the same price as last year, so it
Is
will
it from
be,
ABC again? Mm-hmm. Okay.
yes, and it will be delivered on Friday. Unless you have a special place you wanna, I was just gonna put it by the pavilions, they said they had it over by the trash, did you rather have it
No,
by
they
the,
actually had it in the parking lot.
but do you want it over by the garbage container, or do you wanna keep it by the, I don't know if anybody changed that or not, they said they were gonna put it the same place they had it last year, but I don't know where it was. So if it didn't bother you last year, we'll just have them put it in the same spot.
It can always be moved.
Okay, the next thing is new business. Emterra contract for trash pickup runs out June 30th. We had a discussion with the gentleman that represents Emterra for extending the contract, or whether or not we were gonna send it out for new bids with the clerk and the treasurer and myself. And after the meeting, I had made some phone calls to see other municipalities are in the same boat we are, waiting for, for just to either go out to bid. They offered them the same thing, they would go up with the same price or with a slight increase. And after Patty was done with them, I think they were glad to leave, because she told them they had to hold the price for 3 years, the same price. And then she asked them about extending it for an additional 2 years. And when she looked at it, she could tell that there was a 3% or a 2% increase. And he said, well, we'll go 2 more years and we'll add another 3%. And she said, why can't you just do the same thing you did with the 2%? And when she was done, he was glad to get out of here. He wasn't bleeding, but he was really glad to go. Then Angie come in and asked for free dumpsters for the cleanup for the spring and the fall. And what else did you ask for? Was there something else?
I questioned him about, the tire dumpsters, that's the fall.
The what?
I asked him about stickers or something to alert the residents
Oh, yeah.
about unacceptable items in their garbage or recycling bins, so.
So, but you talked to him the last time. He said everything was approved by his boss?
Yes.
And we're just
and
waiting for the
We're
agreement?
just waiting for Mr. McNamee. It is, I gave all the board members a copy of the old contract with the additions that we had discussed, and John is working on the new contract. So, like I said, it runs out the end of this month. I don't know if we want to hold a special meeting so everybody has a chance to look over the old contract and the additions, or if you want to take care of it now. I don't know.
That's you guys' choice, whatever you want to do. But the key was that he was not gonna hold the price. He wanted an increase if it went out for bid. He was willing to give us, I think he was only gonna give us a year extension, don't you think? I think that was what he's insinuating, so he didn't have to be bothered with it. But Patty stretched him to 3. So, and then when we checked with other municipalities, they also thought, well, they'd save money and go out for bid, and Emterra still got it. And they ended up paying an increase, so it wasn't so beneficial to go out to bid, because they still didn't get a better deal. So, I think this is a good mood. We have a couple of people, because we know that you guys are not real happy with some of the services, and I think we know who we're gonna nail when we have problems. He's given us his personal number, and he says 24/7. So if there's something that ticks off one of our residents, if they get to us quick enough, we can probably head it off and have them either send a second truck to pick it up if they missed you, or if it's a problem with one of the drivers not being courteous or whatever. I think we've got a handle on it. I mean, I feel confident that we'll have a handle on it. So, it's up to you.
Is it possible if the next time something such as this comes up that you can include all the board members? You 3 did a fine job, don't get me wrong, but all this took place in, I was never informed that Emterra had a contract up or an opportunity to quote to you.
He
It
had
seems
called
like
us,
the 3 of you made a
a couple
decision.
days before. We didn't make a decision. This was
No.
just something
Well,
that
I'm
we
just saying,
discussed.
No, if there's something you wanna change, now's the time to tell us, because it's.
I don't know, I've just got that
Oh,
to
all
read
right.
now to
So we
compare
can-
it,
no, we
because,
can-
Well,
as I had said to Patty, the letter said that you wanted to review it off of Tom Raymond's.
that was the last
Okay.
agreement we had.
No,
this
it
is
wasn't.
Kelly Rizzo.
Kelly signed one too?
This
Yes.
is the last one, Kelly's.
And it was a reduction off of Tom Raymond's. So we just wanna make sure that the revised one that is coming to you is off of the
Yeah, there was-
reduced rate, not the
There- yeah.
original Tom Raymond rate.
There was one, thing that I questioned that he said something about, doing away with a performance bond. Did you read anything about that?
No, and I don't, I was talking to Ken about that, I don't know what that entails, and that was something that they did in the last contract. So I don't even know what it is. Ken said it's insurance to make sure that.
Yeah,
Well, performance
performance
is so
bond
they-
is so that they do what they say they're gonna do for the time of their
Well,
contract runs.
it's to initially sign the agreement and supply us with what we have.
Right.
If they don't, then there's, there's,
I mean, this way,
someone
without a
pays us.
performance bond, they can walk away.
Right.
yeah. Pat?
What happened to the River Road yard waste? Remember the complaint Pat Jenner was here?
Yep.
She was saying that there's enough from some minor amount to.
Yeah, it went pretty high. I think that remained the same, but I think we can probably even cut that out if we have to. I think it's a line item, then any of that stuff can be removed
It's right here.
if we can find another source, which we may be able to, so,
Because.
Go ahead.
Doesn't he own, doesn't Gary own that business that does the yard waste?
I don't know if he does or not.
Oh, well, I'll
He's-
say he does.
Okay, I don't even know, is it a separate company?
It is.
Okay, I didn't know it was a separate company. It kinda sounded to me like it was somebody local, but we can ask that question.
It's not in.
No, it's not under Ontario.
Isn't it
found-
billed under Ontario?
No.
No, it's something separate.
Do you know who you write the check to?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
We can find out.
Yeah, we can, Pat, Genuine, yes.
About how much more is this gonna cost us a week or on taxes or whatever?
It's not gonna cost us any more.
No more?
It's the same.
No, it's the same price, yeah.
Very good.
That made you happy.
They did a
didn't it?
nice job, didn't they?
Yeah. You ever make two
For
separate-
girls, huh? All right, well, we'll just wait till the paperwork comes through, then we'll have to have a special meeting then to sign that one, but we will make sure that, everything is in it, and that's a good point. I'm gonna find out who the outside, contractor is, or who owns the contract.
Yeah, so we have to make sure we do it before the end of the month.
Yeah, yeah, well, he can probably give us a 30-day extension if he needs to without, no problem, so. Let's see. Okay, I don't think we need to take any further action, and we'll just go to the next thing. Request for replacement of the Culligan water softener. I gave you a price on that. That was removed, I think, by board action in November of 2013. They had already given us a test for that, and so that's the information, and if it's something that you wanna, and I'm cautioned by, a former supervisor, Mr. Bill Zwing, made a point of coming in and when he understood that that was removed, because it's pretty hard on your fixtures. It'll probably dissolve most of the metal. And if we don't get it replaced, we'll be replacing all of the plumbing in the building because of the well. There's so much salt and sodium in the well.
We don't have any
Yeah, we don't
information on that.
Didn't I
No,
give you anything?
No, see, you have, this was unavailable.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got it right here,
Okay.
guys. Ken.
You know why that was removed? You said board action?
I don't know why. You weren't here in 13, were you?
Sorry to
No.
save the township money.
He was what? Saving the money?
Saving the township money.
Oh, well, that would have been a big bundle of money to save. Okay. So if you wanna go back to having that, that was the company that handled it before, and it was here for many years before, so. Unless you know of somebody else that does it.
I think when they did this, they were gonna try to, instead of that monthly charge, they had talked about putting in our own water softener, and the salt's a lot cheaper than the $9.95 a bag, and maybe the DPW guys were gonna be the ones to fill it with salt. I'm just kinda
Oh,
recalling on this, whether or not that's how it ever turned out, or if Culligan just took theirs out and we never did anything, would sound about right, but
Well, I asked them if that was our piece of equipment, and they said no, that was, that they lease them. I didn't ask them about purchasing it, but
So is the $9.95 a per monthly fee?
no,
No, that's
26.
per bag.
That's
Per
for the
yeah,
bag of,
okay.
oh,
So $26.95 is month,
yes.
plus
is a
salt.
monthly fee, plus salt.
But as you did state, he does have in there, you can buy your own salt.
Yeah,
Which is cheaper. You can get it for $4 a bag.
okay.
Can
Or
you?
even, yeah, or at Tractor Supply when they have it on special, it's like 3 something a
Okay.
bag for 40 pounds.
All right, well, maybe we'll just take portions of this, just take that part of it if you want, and, we'll buy our own stuff. We're always out to Tractor Supply. We can always pick it up and bring it in when it's on sale.
It'd be nice to have the softener back.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for a motion to,
Is everybody on board, or do we wanna research any more, or we wanna check anybody, anyplace else?
I'm on board, $26.95 a month.
All right. Does that seem reasonable to you, Patty?
Yep.
Okay. And I'd like to entertain a motion to, use Culligan again, and we'll purchase our bags of salt ourselves.
Okay. Are you making a motion? I second that then. Okay.
Okay, I'll make that motion. And we have a second? All in favor by signifying aye. It's spending money, so we roll call, please.
Okay, Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Angie, yes. Ken?
No,
Matt?
Yes.
Patty?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. For a point of information, what would you do different?
well, for 27 bucks a month, I think, has anybody even looked into seeing what a water softener would cost if we purchased our own?
No, I don't know anything about them, so.
I'm sure there must be a plumbing firm within the township. And then we would own our own. Because I've had Culligan in the past, and very seldom is there anything that goes wrong and they have to come out and do any maintenance or repair. And I don't believe they put our own salt in. If we purchase our own salt, I don't believe they
Do the
do that.
service? Okay, do you,
I just have a question. Say, is there a possibility that with this $26.95, a portion of it goes toward the purchase of, that after we reach a certain whatever, that it would be ours?
They do sell them also.
Like rent to own?
well, this, yeah, this is a brand new one, and they evidently they'll change them out periodically. But the last one was history, so it was
No
well
doubt.
used. so.
But I think in order even at the salt at $9.95, I think they charge you to come out and put it in. I don't think that's part of that $26.95.
This is all parts and service,
Okay.
so I assume that was the service. I don't know. I'll ask them again. Do you have a question, sir?
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking about salty water. Well, yeah, the water around here does have salt in it, but did we ever have the water tested here? I have my well, and I use it all the time, and I haven't had nothing rust out or anything like that in over 40 years or more. Yeah. So I'm just wondering,
Well, if you can see what it does to our toilets.
okay, I'm just asking
Lot of
if
iron.
it was tested or checked or anything else.
Well, he did a test. They had it on record, and they told me what they had. So he'll bring that record when he comes to install us. I asked him to bring it so we'd have it, so, and he can explain it. Pat?
I think when Bev was in office, she said they had to change the toilet because it had deteriorated so bad. And yeah, it was probably before the softener. In researching softeners the way they went, somebody told me about using potassium instead of salt, because that way you're not using salt to get rid of, the iron and the salt.
Potassium and permanganate.
Yeah, and it's, at least you're not using salt to filter what you have already had salt, so.
Now, is that something that Culligan offers, or is that a different corporation? Do you know what
We
you,
did our own.
you did your own? You had to purchase your own,
It's a different kind of machine,
is it?
yeah.
Like reverse osmosis or something?
No, it's a softener for, and I forget, it's not for iron. I don't remember, but it was a lot easier than the salt, because you get salt bridges. We blew up, I think, 2 of them since we lived there, because you gotta stir them, and it's I would wonder if that's included in the price for all of it.
One big hard rock.
All right, well, if you guys are willing to wait for us, Ken, you weren't volunteering to check into this for me, were you?
Do you want to use the township plumber as an installer, or go to someone like Pryor's?
Pryor probably would be,
Well,
I don't
he's-
know, we
he's
don't
the
really have a
largest and
township.
local.
Yeah, we don't really have a township plumber, Mr. Ames.
I mean, I'd gladly ask them, I get Pryor's, input on it.
Okay,
I mean, there's a guy in Richmond too that also does, the water services.
What about that guy on Gratiot, Schneider?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Is that who?
they do it also, yes.
Ask about the capacity too. Because I had researched that.
that is your volunteering then, right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
So then what was the
why,
motion?
sure.
Do we wanna just withdraw the motion then? I guess that would be me, right?
Okay. so-
Yeah, I'll withdraw my motion, you withdraw your second.
Okay, I withdraw my
We'll
second.
reconsider next month.
Yeah, put it
Okay,
back on
sorry,
the
okay.
list of things to do next month.
Okay.
Request for purchase of chains and mulch and paint for the township park for Shortcut Road and materials for swing seats repairs. I had the gentleman come out, he'd been out once before when Matt had questioned, some things that needed, they wanted $750, I think, for inspection. And I think I squeezed enough out of him that he just told me everything that was broken, and I got all the parts from him. And I said, now, do I still need the inspection? He goes, no, you just got it. So, he's given me that price, and we got two different ways to do it. There's two different seats. There's a seat out there, one, I guess, is broken in our garage. It's the handicapped seat, and those were like $359 when we bought them the first time. Now they're like $762, which is kinda steep. And I said, what is wrong with that? And mostly it's because the way the chains fit into the seat itself, once the wear and tear on the chain is all coated with this plastic. When the water gets inside, it delaminates everything and it comes apart. And you can't put a new chain on that seat because there's no way to get it inside and make it so that people aren't gonna, scratch themselves on the inside. I asked him if he could drill it out and then, cover it. And they said any little kid could get his pants caught in that and get hurt, so. He said, when you replace the chains, you have to replace the seat, so it's like, job security for them. So I thought about just going back to another one of the belt types. That is quite a bit less money, so it's up to you guys, whatever you think you wanna continue to have the handicap seats, then we'd have to spend like $1,500 more money. And if you wanna stay with, just taking those two out and, going with the belt type seat, that saves us quite a bit of money, so. It's just your call, whatever you think.
But don't you believe that we should have
Yes, did I give you that?
Oh, it's the mark.
G3 is your,
at least one? We should probably
at least one.
handicap.
okay, well, we've got one out there now, we leave that one
At least
and
have
just
one.
wait till it falls apart.
Is there a
Because-
guideline from the state on parks?
As far as inspections?
No, as
No.
far as what we,
How many you have to
how
have?
many have to have?
No, you don't, I don't think you have to have any.
So we have one, and your bid says two more. Would be sufficient with one?
Well,
I mean, at least have one
the
for,
one is up there already,
Right.
but you can see the fittings, there's a U-bolt and clamp that's coming, that you can see it's wearing.
So you think we should order one more so we have a backup?
Well, we can either do that and replace that one, or we can, and then just wait till the other one, but it definitely is wearing. So, and they are supposed to last 10 years, and, that's about all we've got out of it, so. But the rest of the equipment, he said, looks pretty good shape. It's not as worn as it usually is at 10 years, so.
So then this list he gave you here with all the things that are wrong to be replaced.
Right, the solar climber parts, that's the one where the chain came off. They have to replace the part and the chain, but I think what we're gonna do is shorten it and so that because it's in the ground, the bottom part is attached to an anchor or a footing.
right.
And so what we're gonna do is shorten it. If we replace the chain, we'll just change that part of it and relink it and then reattach it. And as it starts to wear again, we'll just shorten the linkage.
Now, for this price, is this what they will come out and do?
No,
This
they're
is
just gonna
just for the
ship me the
parts.
parts and bring it here. And then I spoke with a gentleman Tim and Jay Parkham. They live across the road, on Shortcut Road, and he's, he's retired, but he's some kind of a guy that works with, wood and stuff, because he said, I'll come over and I'll put all that together. He came over and met the gentleman with me, and he told him what he was gonna do, and that's why he thought if we could drill out that seat, we might be able to salvage that one seat, but he says, once you drill the hole in, you've got no way to protect it from catching on somebody, so he says it was poor design. And I said, well, is the next one I'm buying gonna be the same way, where I'm gonna have to replace it again in 10 more years? And he said, no, I think they've improved it. And I said, well, I think it's not a good answer, I wanna see it, so,
My question now, what about liability
as far as their equipment,
as far as somebody else doing it?
oh, we put that whole park together. Yeah, it was all done by volunteers, so. The only thing we had them do is come out and lay out the safe zones, so we wouldn't have two pieces of equipment too close to another piece. And all the holes were laid out by an engineer, and Wes and his guys went and drilled all the holes and put the cookies in the bottom, and then we set the equipment and poured the, so that's how we put it together, so.
What about the footings? I don't see anything about the footings being.
Well, that we're gonna do, I've got a gentleman that's, gonna help us here around the township, he's also volunteer. And what we'll do is we'll take a loader and we'll strap it and we'll pull the equipment out of the ground. Then we'll have to hammer all the cement off each piece that was anchored. And then we'll we'll take an auger and we'll re-drill the hole and put the cookie in the bottom again, and then re-pour the cement and set it back up. And then the rest of it is gonna be filled with wood chips, because it's supposed to have 10 inches, 10 to 12 inches, and you can see we've got nothing out there.
Now, I've never been out there, so I don't know if I'm talking actual or not, but I thought that when the previous Parks and Rec gentleman was up speaking, he mentioned that there is a slide that's cracked.
I didn't see the slide.
I don't know if it is or not, so I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that, but I thought that that was one of the needs.
Well, he had his old report that had come out after Matt had called him.
Again, I don't know for sure,
And I
but I
told him,
thought
I
they
said,
mentioned
go
the
back through your
slide.
notes and make sure that we've got everything covered, and he said he would, and I haven't heard from him, only this, material here that came yesterday.
All right.
So if there's something out there, we can take a stroll out and look, but,
I
he's
was
gone
just
through
asking,
everything. No, I'm glad you
if
did.
you've been out there, but I
Yeah.
thought that the last Parks and Rec talked about the slide being cracked or something.
Well, Barb, you know anything about it? Yeah, well, we
Okay, that's
walked
fine.
it pretty good, so if there's, I'll mention it to him to make sure that there's nothing out there, and then we'll take a look just to be sure,
Okay.
all right? So, I guess what we need to know is, do we wanna spend the handicap swings and the solar climber parts and the lily pad parts are $611.65, or if you change out all those parts and go to the handicap swings, you're up to $1,759. The price that you have here is both of them on this one. It was just a part price.
Oh.
So I divided them up so you can see what you need.
When you say, do we want to spend, are you talking about out of our Parks and Rec fund?
Right.
Or are you talking about our general fund?
No, it's out of our Parks and Rec
Okay,
fund.
just asking.
It's either A or B.
Yeah. And then we also have two prices on the ASTM mulch that's required by the state. PJ Herbert in Shelby Township offered it to us at $20 per yard delivered. And that would be 3 semi-loads. It's 140, and it's got one of those, vibratory box bottoms that rolls the stuff out. Yeah, what do you call it, rolling floor?
Walking.
Walking floor, that's what it is. So, they both offer that, so, and the other guy, Playworld, has several sources, and their cheapest price was $18.75. I don't know where it's coming from. They say they just give somebody the order, and whoever's the closest is gonna get it, so, but that's the difference between 8,400 and 7,875, so.
You couldn't go in with somebody else or they've already got all theirs.
I didn't call on anyone else's, no.
I mean, like a different township to go
No,
in with.
no, I called, to get PJ Herbert, I got that from Mark Brochu at the county, Parks and Rec. He told me that was the guy they use mostly around here.
Well, PJ Herbert's, Playworld's 525 cheaper, so.
Yep. And then, of course, we got the porta potty coming. And if we have it delivered on the 10th, and we have it removed on the 24th, they prorate those 2 months, so at 115, and the difference is $517.35. And the labor for the installation of the playground equipment will be donated by Mr. and Mrs. Tim and Jay Parkham. And Wes will do the grading and the leveling of the mulch, and it'll be donated, anyone who wants to donate with a pitchfork and a rake is welcome to come to the mulch party. And we'll have it dumped in 3 different locations from the semi. And then Mark Watson said he'd hit it with his little tractor, so free gratis. So if you want to think about it, or you want to take some action on it, it's your choice.
So with all these numbers that you've thrown around, do you have a total?
Yeah, handicapped swings with the solar climber parts and the lily pad parts is $611.65.
I've got that same sheet. Do you have a
Yeah.
total
About,
Well, it depends
of
on which,
everything that you want to do?
yeah, you just gotta tell me which one of the 2 you wanna spend. You wanna get handicapped, or you don't want, or you wanna go with the belt and save a little money?
I'd like to see us at least have one handicap swing, and you said the one that's there currently is wearing out.
Yeah.
We should update it and at least,
Well, you can't update it unless you wanna just buy a new one.
well, that's what I'm wondering. We have
You
one
wanna buy a new
bought
one?
new one that's good
Okay.
and done, it's just my suggestion, and.
Okay,
and
the
then
new one
belts.
is $762. So if we add that one to,
This is my opinion, but I don't think we should shortchange anybody that's
so
in
it'd be
special
less than,
needs.
it would be less than 10,000, just between
Yeah.
that, this, and,
yeah,
almost about 10,000.
all right, well, let's vote on that first then. Let's see if we want to replace the one handicapped swing with another handicapped swing, and then leave the other one as a belt type.
I guess the question would be, what would be the total, as Ken was just referring to that? If we were to do that option, what would be the cost?
I have a
Can we-
calculator here.
Okay.
What do you see
Between,
that number?
no, I guess we just have to add up whatever
Go
numbers.
762
No, that's just for.
and 108,
parts.
no, 102.
Plus, okay, 102.
Okay, and then give me,
It's this.
That equal 865. Okay.
and then it'll give me 3735,
I know.
Wait, the total from the other two,
Just keep adding it.
plus,
3735, $2.10,
That's another factor.
let
$1.23,
me see if it's gonna give it, okay. Plus 2,
10, plus $1.23, plus 235,
just a second. Okay,
36.62, $36.62,
plus 36,
62,
62,
$11.49, 27 cents.
27 cents.
$3.05.
Plus, okay,
$6.91, and 115 freight.
$1,080.
Okay. All right, the one will be, that way would be $1,080.37.
And all that's changing is the Play World parts list that you have, instead of the quantity, we'd have one of those swings. Would we have to add, because you have right now 4 swings on there.
Well, I have a price for 2 accessible, handicapped accessible, and 2 belt swings, but if we don't need any more belt swings, those are fine. But if you're just gonna change that one out, so,
Will that work then? Like I said, you have 4 here
Yeah.
on there, so I thought
I
you
mean,
needed 4.
we could probably leave the one that's out there and just replace the one that's broke, and we'll still have 2.
Okay.
You wanna do it that way? That would be this cost, $1,080.37.
And then you gotta add.
Yep, and then do you want the 78.75?
$7,159.12.
No, 778, 7,000,
Second.
You're at 10,000.
and then $7,875.
Yeah,
And then your portage on,
8,955.
Okay, and then 115, no, what did I say, 517.
Plus 517. 9,472.37.
So Patty was pretty close, just under 10,000. Okay. Anybody interested in spending $9,472 for the park? You wanna look at our
Do you have
budget
it in your
thing there?
budget?
There's 26 in the budget for Parks and Rec.
Yeah, but there's certain things that were set up, 7,200 was set up for, this kind of thing. There was also a separate for the porta potty, which is coming in less than we expected. What else was on that thing? I didn't, let me see if I got mine.
If you look at page 9 of your budget, you had some capital outlay at 2,052, and at $7,200.
Mm-hmm.
It was 9,250 right there.
so you're already at almost 20,000.
Well, I think we can swing it. The rest of it's labor and it's all free, it's volunteer, so. Are we on board?
Yeah, there's two. Yeah,
Are you making that in the form of a motion, sir?
if you'd like me to.
I would.
For all of it, you'd like a motion for the, in one collective motion?
You can, or you can separate it, whichever you prefer.
Well, I think that we have to be clear, I know on the bids, you said we only needed 2, but the company we have is Playworld, so that would be a single source vendor. So in that in itself, the 1,080.37, and it's a single source vendor, I think we make a motion to replace as recommended by the Playworld technician, and as we just changed with that swing.
I would second that. We have a motion on the floor to spend money for that first item of $1,080 for the playground equipment, repairs and maintenance. All in favor signify, roll call, please.
Matt,
Yes.
Patty,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Mary Agnes.
Yes,
Angie, yes.
motion carried. Okay, now the mulch, do you want to shop some more on the mulch, or are you happy with the $7,875 from Playworld for that? $1,875 per yard, 420 yards.
I think the secret to that is gonna be that ASTM mulch. If that's something special by state requirements.
It is, it's fireproof, and it's, if the kids eat it, they won't get sick. There's all kinds of stuff weird,
That was something I was gonna,
no hardware in it. All the metal's been removed.
now when they go to spray the weeds and the stuff on the playground, are they spraying these wood chips
No,
from tents?
no, they don't have to.
Okay, so who takes care of the weeds that are gonna be in the,
Usually when the kids are playing on it, there's no weeds.
If there's 10 or 12
Yeah,
inches
they
too,
kinda,
you wouldn't
it's,
have it.
yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
self-weeding?
as a matter of fact, the last time I bought mulch for that, I had them deliver it, and like 6 o'clock in the morning, I had to meet the truck here. And we were scheduled to level it all in the afternoon, and a bunch of kids came in, and they leveled the whole thing. By the time we got out of here
Playing, yeah.
at 4 o'clock, it was already leveled, so kids were real handy at that for us, so. All right, we have a motion then. If I make a motion to add the 420 yards of Playworld 8 STM material for the mulch for the playground at the cost of $1,875 per yard, total being $7,875.
Second that.
We have a second, a motion and a second. And because we're spending money, can we have a roll call vote, please? Angie?
Ken,
Yes.
Angie, yes. Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Ken, or Matt,
Yes.
Patty,
Yes,
Okay.
we need to do one for that too.
Okay, we also have a porta potty on the market here that we need to purchase or we need to rent for $115 per month. They bring it in on Friday, June 10th, and they prorate that month, plus I got it scheduled to be picked up Monday, October 24th. That should get us past the trunk or treat that's usually planned by the gang across the street. So it was engineered by Barb first. So that would be a prorated amount of $517.35. And if we can get that delivered by Friday, so we can have it, there's a party scheduled on June 11th in there. So it's kind of crucial that we get this handled if we can. I would make that motion if,
Is this still gonna be out of Parks and Rec
yes,
fund? Or
yes, it is. Yeah, it was in the budget.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have another motion on the floor for the porta potty, and a second. Please, roll call vote for me, Ange.
Patty?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Angie? Yes.
Okay, motion carried. All right, what else we got on this agenda? Okay, we have a request for the approval of what the planning commission has put together for the fire emergency and reimbursement ordinance. And a copy of that has been attached to your package. Did everyone get a chance to go through that, or was there anything that was? Pat, did you ever get, that email that we got from Mr. Higgins? Did we figure out what that meant? Was that anything to do with this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what the email was, but it was something to do with, electrical lines for a fire or a cell tower, which I would think that would be their liability. And then something was about folks, did you, I know I sent it to everybody, and I don't see that it would be something separate that he was bringing up. He brought it up after the fact. Like, well, he was after the fact, and then sent it on there. I'm not sure if we got it, but I don't see it.
I'm not familiar with the email that you're referring to, but
Okay. Well, maybe he sent it to us by mistake or something, I don't know. Can we back up for a second? I just hit something here, I forgot. Tim's Lawn Service also gave us a price or an estimate on spraying weeds along the walking path at the park and the playground and the outer edge of the parking lot. We had done this in years past, just wanted everyone to know that we can spray the park for weeds again if you want us to. And they want a rate of $180. Is that just one time, or?
I don't know.
Okay. The other day when we were working out here in the pulling weeds around the township hall, Mark came and he had some, it's Roundup, and it's, just the regular stuff that we use commercially at home. And, he sprayed all the weeds in the parking lot here, so that's already done, but we'll see what, does he have a license to do this, do you know?
No, I don't know. This was just in the
All right.
mail.
All right, let me find out and backtrack on this a little bit. I don't wanna vote on, I know that stuff that you buy over the counter, anybody can use.
Okay.
But, when you're doing stuff for the park with kids, you gotta be careful who you,
I mean, this last year, Tony did try with the rags, some weed killer,
Lumberjack.
it didn't work.
no?
That's gonna have to be recycled.
No, I think one year we did it with a torch. We burnt everything first, and then we poured the junk on, and it held for a season, but, that takes somebody with a blowtorch, how you start brush fires. Tom knows what I'm talking about. All right, can we go back to our fire and emergency reimbursement ordinance? Do you want Pat to explain all this, or do you want to go through it? You guys worked on it real close. I mean, I just asked for this, and more 10 minutes later, we had one. It was wonderful.
that would
Go
be
ahead,
great.
let
What-
me have it.
And we had discussed this years past, and yes, Pat pushed this through, did a nice job for us at the planning committee level. We've heard it before, we don't have teeth to collect money. And when we set up our fire authority, the goal and objective was to reimburse some money to offset the costs. We haven't done a very good job of that, and the Acumed Building Company is the company that the Marine City Fire Authority is using on our behalf. we don't have any ordinance in play, so basically, there's no teeth, as they say, lack of better words, to help collect those monies. So what we did was we asked for the ordinances from Marine City, Ira Township, and neighboring communities, and ironically, this was East China's, same situation we're in. Don't have a fire department, they're in the same fire authority, and we basically didn't reinvent the wheel, we took theirs and tweaked it to meet our needs. Very simply done, met our requirements, and in reviewing just tonight, the packet here, the Marine City fire runs, they took 16 runs for the Marine City Fire Authority, Ira took 1. With this in place, we would be able to then bill for, because we haven't been billing for any of the Ira Township fees, and then it would help again in the Marine City Fire Authority to allow MacuMed to do a better job of collecting for us. I think we were at 20%, if I recall. Our costs are about 100, we brought in about 20 last year. So we're hoping that this generates more money to help offset the cost to all of us for the use of the services, which is the intent, in speaking with Mr. Raymond years and years ago. So obviously, I believe this is done very well. It's in play in another township. And I think it's long due here for this township to consider it and help alleviate some of the liabilities that we've taken on here as a board.
Anybody have any questions on this? Ken?
If we, oh, go ahead.
Ken?
All right.
Oh.
Okay, on this, we don't have a copy of it, so we can't read it, okay? Is this so that if the people don't pay, is this ordinance so that we can attach it to their property taxes for the future? You know, in other words, if they don't pay it, it's added on to your property taxes, you know, and continue on. It's just like if we don't pay our, you know,
Water.
taxes, it goes to the state, it's on our tax bill. Is that included in there? If it's not, it should be. Otherwise, from what I understand from the fire chief, they can't, that company cannot and will not do anything unless you have the ordinance that says you can, and then they will.
Well, it's certain things that you can do. I mean, if, the majority of the housing fires are not a problem because most people have house insurance and you just notify their insurance company and they reimburse the fire department. If you had somebody that didn't have fire insurance and they had a total loss, then we would probably have to file a lien in that respect, and that's not a big thing. I can file a lien.
And if I can add?
Sure.
Just under Section 8, collection of charges, I believe this is the caveat you're looking at. Cottrellville Township may proceed in district court by suit to collect any monies remained unpaid and shall have any and all other remedies provided by law for the collection of said charges. It gives us, for the first time, the chance to do whatever it's got to take to get that money. So I believe, to answer your question, yes, very much so.
Now, when 2 cars have an accident, if there was damage to a pole or something, like the Detroit Edison or the telephone company goes after the 2 cars. They collect usually 50% from each one. If there was damage to something else, like a fence or something, it belonged to a private owner, then we have to go after the legal owner of the car. I don't know if you can cloud a title of a car or not. But we can check with the Secretary of State and see if that's possible. So they can't get license plates without paying it off, is what my point is. So we'll look into that just to make sure, if you want to hold this up until we have that, but I kind of like to, that's probably going to come into that, all other remedies provided by law, if it's possible. So I would say we're still in good shape as far as the way this is written. It's very well prepared.
And then one of the concerns that Chairman Runyon had said, that the next one, non-exclusive charges, the foregoing charges shall not be exclusive of any of the charges that may be made by Cottrellville Township for the costs and expenses maintaining a fire and emergency contract, but shall be only supplemental thereto. In other words, we can add to that also. The goal here is just to be able to pay for the services that we get through and that we use, and obtain it from the people that use the service versus it just coming out of our general fund.
That was one of the questions we asked regarding that section is, can we add like a $50 charge or so that would go into our, a fire fund or some kind of fund, that it would be accumulative? And it seems that that line clears us, that that's a possibility.
Yeah,
But
that'd be an
based on
administrative
board
fee.
administrative fee, yeah.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
because I think it costs, when you file a lien on a house, it's like $14 for your first page, and you have to include the legal description, so if it goes to, a second page, I think it's $9 for the second page, but then, it's filed. And it stays with that title till it either changes hands, or the bank pays it off if you've got a mortgage, because they don't want anything that their second,
Well, we were also entertaining the idea that for every billing, which I don't know if that, you can possibly do that, but every billing, every fire that's billed, that there's this extra fee that, because Ecumed gets what fees are.
10%.
Right, and we get nothing, and maybe it could go into a fund, which would give us money for backup. So that was
Well, that we
part of
can,
the
we can
discussion.
change with resolution, and we can update those costs just like you do anything else that has a schedule of fees.
Okay, that's.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
If we were to pass this tonight, do we have an ordinance number to attach to this?
We will have, we gotta find the book and just make sure we got the right number. But we'll put it in and have it appear in the paper with the correct ordinance number.
And then we still have our current contract with Acumed, we just haven't been doing anything with them, or do we have to get a new contract with them?
Well, no, our agreement was with the fire authority. They do it for the fire authority. However, we don't have anything with IRA, do we?
No, I don't.
IRA doesn't do anything with that stuff.
Well, because with the previous board, we discontinued the use of Acumed because
Oh, we did?
the township was going to do their own billing
Oh,
instead of giving that 10% up to Acumed. That's the reason I'm wondering if we still have,
who's doing it?
no one ever did.
Oh, no one ever did. Okay, all right.
That was the intent,
I gotcha, all right.
keyword.
Got lost in the way.
So do we still have a relationship with Acumed?
Yes, we do, because I get statements and we get checks every month of stuff that they have collected. And I think they make 3 attempts before they turn it back into the fire department, and then he sends it to me to show me that he isn't, they aren't gonna go any further.
But if we give them the authority,
If
they'll
we-
actually go after.
Right,
as a
they can
bill
sue him in
collector.
court if we have this ordinance. So it's real important that we complete the sentence here. If we don't have, for lack of a better sentence, we don't have the teeth to do what we have to do in court because we didn't have an ordinance for it. But now we will if this goes through tonight.
Well, I make a motion that we accept this ordinance for the fund, but I wish that we had the ordinance number to attach to this. You will inform us by the
I
next
will.
meeting?
Yes, sir.
Well, I make a motion that we do accept this and place it into effect.
And I would second that motion for the fire emergency reimbursement ordinance. And that has something to do with money, so we have any other discussion? You
No,
have
I
something
would
else?
just strongly suggest that, you've got these reports here that Acumen is obviously versed that we have done this, and then add to Chief Keller out of Ira Township, I had spoken with him a week ago or so, that we get reports from him and.
On a
that we
regular
do it
basis.
On a regular basis, so that we
Yeah.
can start getting the money for that as needed.
Yeah, and we'll handle it from our end, or we're gonna give it to Acumed to handle?
However.
Do they have Acumed at Ira?
I do not know
don't
that
know.
they have them.
You had something to say, Connie?
We do get a check from the fire authority
Yes,
for Acumen.
yes, but that's just for the half of the townships. The other portion of the township is under the Ira Township.
The other fire authorities would have to bill them. My understanding, I know at Cottrellville, because I sit in on when we went with Acumen, whatever the fire department can't collect, that's when Acumen takes over. And they try and collect it, and if they can't, then it's done. You don't use it.
You don't go any further? Okay. Well, they've been handing me stuff to do, because some of it I've been researching is,
We got quite a bit of money from them.
Yes.
And they only charged us, I think it was $5 per incident,
well, it's usually 10% of whatever's being collected.
basically, yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah, the township had nothing to do with it whatsoever.
yeah.
And that money that came back went into the fire
into the fire authority fund, yes. Pat, you got something you wanna add?
It's not a very long ordinance. Are you gonna publish the whole ordinance, or do you need a summary?
I think we can do a summary, I'll find out for sure. Who do we,
Because the
who's your
planning commission took over
recommender?
planning commission took over the summaries. So we will do a summary for you if
Okay.
that's what you want.
Yes, please.
I know it's not that long, but we'll do a summary for you
Yeah,
if that's what
and
you
we'll
want.
have to do the ordinance.
And I
This
need
really
ordinance.
isn't that long, if we could print the whole thing, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking because
Yeah, I think we should, it's not very long, let's do
it's not
that.
very long and it's very specific.
Summaries are more for like, when you have a
Oh.
whole zoning ordinance,
Right.
like
right.
number 25.
Yeah, and I think
So
it's,
nothing-
each line is pretty
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah,
So-
we'll print this,
Okay, let me know if you decide
Yes.
otherwise. Okay.
yeah, and then it will be effective 30 days after the publication date. All right, we have a motion on the floor here, we have a second, I need to have a roll call vote on whether we adopt this evening, please.
Matt,
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Patty?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Angie? Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Good job, thank you very much. Okay, what else we got here? Report from the planning commission regarding regarding the board, and the board representative as to what topics you're working on currently. You have a couple other ones that you're doing,
Okay,
besides,
We're back to me.
back to ORV, we gotta make that
The
one.
ORV will get back on next month.
Yes,
We just dealt with the fire and emergency reimbursement.
yep,
The Verizon, we had discussed last meeting that we were hoping to set up a meeting with a contact person and address some of the concerns of the residents along the River Road and in that area where the tower went in. Next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we're hoping to meet the planning commission chairman, myself, you, and maybe get our attorney involved and just a discussion to see if there's plenty more. And Mike, yes. Mike Higgins, one of the reps, who's
Right.
very knowledgeable with it.
right,
So, just so that we can proceed to
the next step.
the next step, exactly.
Yeah, we gotta get that tower working the right way, because there was no point of going through all this and not having it take care only at, 10% of the people in the township. Did you wanna elaborate, Pat, when you spoke to Mr. McNamee for me this morning?
Mike Higgins, who is a new member of the planning commission, is retired from Sprint, and he has knowledge of, on the other side. And he has the equipment and has done measurements. And so he will be meeting with McNamee and also with Matt, you and I, to find out our next step. According to our attorney McNamee, he said that there isn't a point of litigation, it's a matter of communicating, but we'll sit and show him what's going on. And according to Mr. Higgins, there's a big area that is not getting coverage, and his big concern, he called me the other day, is he thinks it's getting worse, and that if there was an accident on River Road, people wouldn't be able to call 911 and get a response. So that was a, big thing that we want to
I
address.
think that's the main thing that we have to do to get these people off dead center.
Yeah.
They have to realize that this could be,
And Mike has several solutions, being that he is on that, has been on that side of it and knows what can be done.
Yeah.
So he will bring them up at the meeting. The other thing is, we're discussing a change in the ordinance for outbuildings. And so there's, we just brought up the information. Lance Surday is our representative from the Planning Commission on the ZBA.
Right.
And he said he's had many people coming to the ZBA that need a special
approval variance.
variance, right. And so we're going to address that and maybe change something about the variance for size of lot, or acreage versus the size of the outbuilding or the barns. Okay, that's it.
That's
what
an
we're doing
important
now.
one. I think we get probably 90% of our cases before the ZBA are because people want to build barns on less than 20 acres and they're not considered farms, and yet they can't do that. People move out in the country to have junk, to have their stuff out, and if you could put it in a building where nobody else has to look at it, it's gonna be a lot better. Thank you. All right, do we have any public comments from anyone in the audience about anything they want to discuss?
I just on the ordinance, when you pass it, if you have some copies of the complete ordinance ready, so we can pick it up at the next meeting,
Sure.
because I wanna be sure that we don't lose any more ordinances that we don't have, okay?
Good call.
Copy
Good
of all
point.
of them that we have, you know?
Are you gonna be our official off-site
Yeah.
cloud?
My handbook.
I appreciate that, Mr. Barnes. Sir, behind him, go ahead.
Ron Deach, 7190 Shea Road. There's a fellow on Mayor Road and Arnold Road that's hauling in all kinds of dirt. Is this legal what he's doing or what?
What's going on?
He's hauling in dirt. All last summer he hauled in dirt
Where's he putting it?
on the ground.
I know, but where? Around his house or around a
There's
barn?
no
or-
house there, it's vacant property. And the neighbors right in that area are concerned what's going on. What's he
haven't-
hauling in?
I haven't heard anything from anybody heard about it? Anybody familiar with what he's talking about?
On Arnold Road?
It's on Arnold?
It's on Mayor Road.
Mayor Road.
Mayor,
Between what two
just
roads?
south of Arnold.
Just, okay.
I wonder if that was the phone calls we got today about,
Well, it could either be sludge removal,
right,
Well,
But
they
it
are
wasn't-
sludging down there too.
yeah, because I
I
called
don't know
the,
who that is, but.
Oh, is it the dirt coming out of the drain, the county drain?
No, this,
no.
there was
What kind of
trucks just
sludge?
coming for, all of them.
You're not talking about,
All summer long, they had Bear Road all tore up. And the neighbors in that area were talking to me, asking me what's going on. I don't know.
do you know the gentleman's name?
I
No?
don't know if it's a word from Shea Road or not, I don't know.
Okay. Tom, you're not doing it, are you? Okay, just asking.
No, I'd be putting it in my ditch if you was.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyone else have a comment or? No? All right, we should get some items together on what we're gonna discuss at the next workshop meeting. We also had a request from a couple of residents that would like to have one of these, we have two of these a month, these workshops, we'd like to have one of the two, I don't care which one. If we could switch it to an evening meeting so that there'd be audience here. There isn't a lot of participation from the audience unless, you know, I mean, workshops are workshops. It's for the board to kind of do their thing. You're welcome to be here, but the participation is gonna be limited because we're gonna try and get as much done as we can in that hour and a half that we have allotted. And evenings take up a lot of our people's family life, so that's why we decided to do it during the day. But, it's whatever you guys wanna do. We wanna add that, what was that first thing we were gonna add? Ange, I had you write it down, do you remember?
You mean about the website?
No, for the next,
Workshop.
workshop that we were gonna plan.
Oh, I can't recall.
I forget what it was.
I think I've seen it somewhere.
Well, Mary Agnes, since we agreed and we said we were gonna have two workshops per month,
Uh-huh.
and this month we've only had one, maybe we could get by with just one and do it in the evening if that's what the residents want.
That's you guys.
We missed our
call it.
second one for this month already, and we just passed it, so obviously one might be enough.
Right.
You need to attempt two. At least that way, if you cancel one, you still got one. If you cancel one, you get none.
What's your flavor on it?
I'm fine, let's have one. Are we gonna discuss the water issue, hopefully?
That's one of the ones, yes.
And didn't you say the ORV?
Yep. Well, you're gonna have that for us to do, so I don't think, we
So
wanna.
we have it, because that was given to you last month.
All right, we got that, I think, under,
Okay.
D and B was the,
oh, D and B we're gonna have on the, for the utility billing. What else was there? Anything else? Is two things enough? You got anything else you wanna discuss?
Oh, I was gonna talk about the, possibility of, the website. Remember we were going to?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Angie has some things she wants to run by on the website. She's got some ideas, I don't know. You wanna do them at a workshop?
Yes.
Okay. Website by Angie, okay. All right, so our next meeting is at 12 noon then on June 15th. we can decide if you wanna do an evening, or you wanna switch that one to an evening.
Obviously, the residents, it's for them also. If they're asking for 6:30 at night, gotta try to oblige them.
Is that all right with you guys? You guys got a babysitter? No?
Are we still gonna limit it to an hour? or-
Yeah, we're gonna try and do it for an hour. If we run over, we're almost done, I'm not gonna stop, but, okay, let's switch this to 6:30 PM then, on Wednesday, June 15th. Our next one, we're gonna discuss the ORV ordinance, the clerk, the utility billing clerk from D&B, and we're gonna discuss website ideas that Angie has.
Now, how does this affect the policy that we just, or the motion that we made last month in regards to the
For
two
what?
meetings? The 2 meetings at noon. So we're changing the policy, or the motion that we just made last
Well,
month.
we're allowed to make
Okay,
changes.
all
I mean, I think it's a good idea.
right, okay.
We've got people that wanna, you know,
Participate.
participate and be here,
I
and
just didn't know how it
as long as
affected.
they wanna be here, I want them to be here,
Okay.
as long as they're not screaming and hollering at me. So, all right, anybody else, any announcements that we need to make? Any board member comments? Then I would like a motion for adjournment, please.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None, hearing none, motion carried. Thank you, everybody, for attending, appreciate it.